It's dark in here. It's dark in here. And it's night, but I wanted to like record what I'm thinking right now because I have sort of an interesting take on, like, I had an interesting idea about the concept of like dementia and Alzheimer's, and I'm not saying I'm right because it's like, what scientific degree do I have? Like, none. But I actually I had an interesting idea pop into my mind, so I wanted to express it because it just, I think you know why. I don't know. Okay, so it's gonna start in a weird place, but just, I don't know. Hear me out. You know how in, like, it sounds so silly, but people will be like, oh, like, that outfit, like, eats, right? For example, okay, I know it's a weird place for that to start, but, like, I mean, people will be like, oh, that outfit eats, or whatever, or, like, in pop culture, or any culture, we kind of have, like, references of the idea of consuming an experience as if it were food, but it's sort of like not a literal statement. And I know that you know what I mean, but anyway, if you're not like old, then you know what I mean. And you've seen comments and you're like, okay, I know what that is. Like, they're not literally eating clothing. But if you take that just as the concept of like, oh, like you feed your soul, I mean, it doesn't have to just be soul, but like your mind, right? Because I don't want it to only be exclusive to like spiritual stuff, but it definitely is, because everything is. It's like you can understand what I'm saying either way, but there's definitely like obviously a spiritual aspect to it. But like you feed your soul or your mind an experience, and that can be a positive experience. It can be like, oh, like that's like an amazing outfit, like if they're like, oh, that eats, like, you know what I mean? So taking that over to the concept of like dementia and Alzheimer's, the idea I randomly have, which, like, obviously not to shame people who have it, because I know it's like genetic and stuff and whatever, but where did I get the idea? I don't know. I had this idea that like they basically feed themselves. The idea, oh, like, you know how they say like the brain eats itself when they don't do anything, right? So what does it mean for a brain to eat itself? It has to eat itself being a brain. So what does it mean for something to be a brain? It means the person themselves has been feeding themselves their own intelligence being impossible, because what is a human brain? It's like this impossible computer that nobody can explain why it exists or how it exists or how we can be so lucky that it exists. So if I'm right, again, not based on like studies or evidence, but it would mean that this person, if somebody, and not someone specific, but if anybody has dementia or Alzheimer's, it would literally mean, they're feeding themselves the concept of themselves being so intelligent, like 24/7. Based on nothing, though. It'd be like they walk into any room and they're immediately like, well, I know I'm the smartest in the room. Not based on anything. It doesn't have to be, like, but they keep doing that for so long that they're only eating their own brain. So they're not learning anything. And they're not sitting here doing like brain puzzles or changing something about their brain, because they sat there and just only fed themselves the fact that they were smarter than you, but then it became based on nothing. Because they didn't keep growing their brain, they just decided they were already smarter than you. So like it makes sense, but like when you think about it that way, it's a play on words when the brain eats itself, even though it's a physical action that happens. the physical act of the brain eating itself is a play on words to represent the person believing they're more intelligent than you are for so long that it physically happens to them. And then they need help with everything. So, I mean, it's kind of not like discovering something new. It's just, isn't it weird that it's like a play on words that physically happens to the person as like physical evidence, physical proof that they only believed they were more intelligent than you until they needed help, because they absolutely could not continue their own life without help, because they thought they would always be better. But also it sounds shaming to people with like dementia and Alzheimer's, and like maybe they were great people or something, I don't know. But also a lot of those traits can be not outwardly presented and like internal. So like at the same time, just because they're so nice to other people doesn't mean you know their like internal world. Anyway, I don't know, I hope you liked my random thoughts. I don't know. I'm just gonna post it anyways. Love you guys, bye.